should never judge a book by its cover, or in the case of Welcome to Elk, again by its delightfully cheery facade. What looks on the surface initially as a jolly, casual, somewhat whimsical game is actually so deep and heavy, the characters and stories they tell here will be with me for quite some time. Hello and welcome to YakWaxLips. My name is Michael, your point-and-click adventurer, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a closer look at Welcome to Elk, produced and developed by Triple Topping. Before I head into the chilly hills, YakWaxLips is a channel dedicated to all things adventure games, and I'd love if you could join me by hitting the subscribe button and sharing it with a like. We arrive on the island of Elk ready to dive into a career as a carpenter, mentored by one of the best in the business, Jan. We are Frigg, a curious 20-something eager beaver. We're friendly, chatty and easygoing, but with a solid work ethic. Our eagerness is put on hold on day one as Jan instructs us to just hang out, get our bearings and meet the locals. So we head to the pub. It's a small community here on Elk, and so the pub is the place to be. Over the course of the game, whenever there's a celebration, some important news or event, we navigate to the pub. On our first day on Elk, we make quite the impression by getting what we Brits call totally smashed. But before we are tipped over the edge, there's the small question of the village thug to deal with. Meeting all the inhabitants of the island, there's about 12 of them, in one setting, sets a blueprint for the next 4 hours or so. What starts out as a jolly way to spend a day and meeting new people, soon turns nasty with threats of violence and harsh words exchanged. Triple Topping lure you in with that gorgeous, chunky, colourful characters, then smash you in the back of the head with a 2x4. And this is Welcome to Elk in a nutshell. It is poetically beautiful with a melancholy aftertaste, and here's why. The stories and characters that Frigg encounters on Elk are all true. From the guy frozen to death after crashing his car, to the drunk being stamped on by an elk. Each morning when Frigg awakes, there is a bottle left on her table, and inside is the true version of the story she's just encountered. It's fourth wall breaking to an extent. At select points in the game, it also takes itself out of the game, and we come face to face with the storytellers themselves.
Til arbejde op i en lille by langt nord herfra. Og jeg kan tydeligt huske, det var en mandag morgen, hvor min makker Jeppe og jeg vi mødtes som sædvanligt, og tog vores lille ladbil ud til værkstedet, som var den sidste bygning ud mod ødemarken. Og vi gjorde det sædvanlige, og mandagen der ryddede vi altid op på værkstederne og kørte affaldet over på dumpen, som jo egentlig bare er en losseplads, hvor man graver et stort hul i jorden og smider alle affald ned.
At these points, I was solidly invested in Frigg and the community on Elk and could have sat and watched for days. All these stories are emotionally charged, but it does leave little to actual gameplay. You can wander around the village if you like, with items that are interactable fully coloured and those that aren't are stark black and white. But it's a fairly small place and there's no real point as you visit everywhere throughout the stories anyway. It's more of an interactive movie with a few mini-games inserted to break up the dialogue. These mini-games were mostly fun, and even if you're really bad at them like I was, you get through them pretty easily. Some of the mini-games, however, bring that morbid tone and it was uncomfortable in places. At one point I had to look away from the screen because what was happening was just too distressing. A huge highlight is the music. Sometimes I'd stop playing the game just to listen to the fantastic music. It's mostly folk inspired with banjos and guitars, and whatever is going on screen, it mirrors it perfectly in the score. Welcome to Elk has left an impression on me. There are many games where I've put in dozens and dozens of hours. I forgot about the story almost as soon as I've turned it off. But these 4 or so hours I spent with Frigg and her new friends, my new friends, on Elk, have set up camp in my head. I would definitely recommend Welcome to Elk to anyone who is interested in stories and character, but I will prefix this with a stark warning of mature content though. Those with a nervous disposition genuinely might find some of the themes it tackles too much. Instead of sticking on the latest next best thing on Netflix, you could do worse than spending an evening with Frigg and Co. on Elk. You can purchase Welcome to Elk from Steam and Xbox, priced at around £12. Thank you for watching my review of Welcome to Elk. Please hit the subscribe and like button if you've enjoyed it, and leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Until next time, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is you're doing right now. Take care.